Hello, I thought I'd just show you a few snippets from this past week which I spent in St Ives Cornwall. I signed up for an art course at the St Ives School of Painting, and this was part of my walk to school each morning. This is the street and building that the school is in. I signed up for the course with my friend Jerry, who'd come over from Holland for it. The course was called Observation and Abstraction, run by Camilla Dixon. There were 8 people in our class, and we had this wonderful classroom overlooking Porthmeor Beach. I had an amazing desk right at the back near the window. Our first exercise was to look at a still life grouping of objects. We had to draw them numerous times from different angles, and each time we were given a different way of drawing. So for example, only using curves, or another time only using straight lines. Each time there was a restriction which took our focus away from the objects as a whole and helped us better abstract parts of the objects we were seeing. This was one of my drawings. Then in the afternoon we made individual little still life groupings of objects and had a go at portraying them in a fairly abstract manner. We could use collage, inks, whatever we fancied. I stayed for the week in an Airbnb in St Ives. This is the following morning, walking across the harbour at low tide on the way to school again. Here's our classroom on day 2 with all the work that we'd completed on day 1. I'd been really unhappy with what I'd produced and had not wanted to put mine up on the wall. I then thought that was a bit churlish though, so I did stick it up and decided to try and embrace the process that Camilla was trying to teach us and embrace that would mean there was some not very nice work in the middle. Here are my line drawings which had the restrictions placed on them from the day before. On day 2 the weather was clear and fine, and we did some sketching down by the harbour. This is the route from the school to the harbour. The group of people straight ahead is the rest of my class. I'd just had to pop back to the school because I'd forgotten something. Again, we didn't just do straightforward sketching, but we were given restrictions and limitations on what we drew. So, for example, drawing the horizon lines only, and then doing outlines of shapes. This was a very nice way to take the pressure out of engaging with the landscape and simplifying it in this way, and it increased our observation skills. These were just exercises and not designed to produce finished pieces of work. For these last 2 sketches, the exercise was to look up an alleyway and draw what we saw with only straight lines, though some of my straight lines got a bit wobbly. At lunch, Jerry and I walked out to take a closer look at the boats. The hill in the distance behind the lighthouse is part of my village. St Ives just feels like such a special place. The light, the colours, the atmosphere and everything. Jerry and I made friends earlier this year when we met by chance in the Tate Gallery. We met up for a day in St Ives in the summer when Jerry was over here for a different art course and did some sketching, and then we thought it'd be fun to do this course together. Here's me giving my favourite boat a little hug. The next part of the process was my favourite. We used viewfinders to isolate small portions of our previous sketches. We then traced several of these portions onto a separate piece of paper, giving us new abstract compositions. I found this process really exciting and inspiring. This was a little trip I made to the upstairs classroom to collect some more art supplies. Looking out the window of our studio over Porthmuir Beach on day 3 of our course. Using the little abstract sketches that we'd made the day before with a viewfinder as inspiration, we were encouraged to make some 3D models. As you can probably tell from my 3D model, this was not my favourite part of the course. We then used the viewfinder sketches as inspiration for some 2D work as well. And these are a couple of my ideas. Although I really loved some of the sketches that I'd come up with using the viewfinder, I'm afraid my heart wasn't really in this work much either, and I didn't finish anything. My attention kept getting drawn to the window instead, and so I decided to do a sneaky little landscape. I was just using cartridge paper, and I did a watercolour background, then added acrylic paint with a palette knife, and did some charcoal details. I was also distracted when a reporter and photographer from The Guardian came to interview and photograph us. I got on really well with them both and ended up chatting to them for ages instead of doing any work, though the reporter did ask if she could commission me to do a painting of her house. These are the lovely people I did the course with. And here's a picture of me with my new and improved artworks on the wall behind me. Overall, I had a brilliant week and a lot of fun. The St Ives School of Painting is an amazing venue, which I would highly recommend. I think for where I am at the moment with my art, I probably didn't pick the best course to do. I've realised that I'm really enjoying concentrating on doing landscapes and using paint, plus other mixed media layered on top. It's all been a good learning experience though. Well, I hope you've enjoyed these few snippets from my past week, and hopefully you'll join me again. Bye!